Good morning, sir.
Hi guys. Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Morning.
Morning. Hi, morning. Morning. So how are you?
Fine, sir.
Fine, sir.
Fine.
Fine, sir. How
Mm,
are you, sir?
good. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Still some more people have to join. Okay. So where we were in the last class. So before going to the class, I will try to give you brief info about the course projects, which is very important. Have you gone through the course projects? Have you gone through the course projects?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. You should download the course projects and you should go through them. So it's just 1.5 page. I think it's just one page. Okay. So the first project is I think I have already mentioned to you in the last classes. So about the course projects, course research papers, and course patents. Okay, these all are interconnected to your course syllabus. Okay, so I have already mentioned more in details about the course projects, course research papers and patents. The course projects, so which is also important. So you need to complete the course project. So you will have the deadline for this. So the first project is biomolecules as metal corrosion inhibitors, a preliminary understanding. Okay, so the corrosion, the metal corrosion. So this is your second unit, corrosion. After completing electrochemistry, you will enter, perhaps next week you will enter in corrosion. Okay, so this is the brief abstract about the project. So that is the first one. The second one, the chromatography. So chromatography is a separation technique to determination of detection factor. So this is the brief abstract course project. Okay, you should read it. Maybe you should read like 5 times because it's very short. You can read 5 to 10 times. You can understand the abstract. So then what you can do? So you can collect the information online, which is relevant to your course project. Okay, for example, chromatography, or you can collect the information of biomolecules as metal corrosion inhibitors. So I have already mentioned to you in the class how to search research papers or how to search any patents on Google. So there are separate website. for scientific articles, which is Google Scholar. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yeah, so this is scholar.google.com. So you can search whatever you can. For example, I want to agri-food bioscience. So I was searching about to know about the more information about agri-food. I mean the biosensors which could be used in agriculture and food safety sector. Okay, so your topic is biomolecules as metal corrosion inhibitors. So biomolecule metal corrosion. So we have to search different. I mean, it's very important to input the what kind of keywords you give for Google search. Okay, these are the list of articles. So, for example, this is from I think last 2001, 2000, I mean 19, 20, 20, all I mean all of them. So maybe you can even select the years. So you select since 2020. So you'll get the first priority is 2020. So whatever the these are very recent articles you'll get. So 2020 corrosion behavior of titanium in simulated body solutions with the addition of biomolecules. So for example, you can open this if you want. So this is the title, whatever you get it. So if it is interesting for you, then open it. So this is the title of the article. So this is ACS publication. So the publisher is American Chemical Society. What is the journal name? So this is the journal. This is the title. These are the authors. Uh, this is the journal name, ACS Omega 2020, the volume 5, the issue number 22. So these are the page numbers. So 12,768 to 12,776. So these are the page numbers. So it was published online and on May 29, 2020. So this is the DOI number for this particular article. So what is DOI number? Digital Object Identifier. So for each article, so it is designated as a DOI number. For example, if you find another article, it could have different DOI number. You can open this article. Yeah, some are free access journals. So you can open the full text PDF files. Can you see the screen? Is it visible?
Yes,
No, sir.
No. No or yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Visible, sir.
Okay. So this is the article. So corrosion behavior of titanium. So whatever. So this is the abstract. I mean, which I have already told you about the research paper, abstract and introduction. Okay. So you can briefly scan this. I mean, just eye scanner. So if it is something interesting, maybe you can try to read it. What is it written? Or you can read the abstract and you can go through. Then, so for example, this article is opened. This is for free. In case article is not for free, it is not opening. So then what you could do is, so you can copy the title. With the title, there is a Sky Hub. You can Google Sky Hub. So get the Sky Hub website. We can paste on the search engine. Then enter. then you get the PDF file of the article. Okay, this is another way of opening the, if it is not for free access, so you have to pay money to download the PDF file, then you have to copy the title. Sometimes with title it won't be open. Then you can copy the DOI number. Only this much is enough. Copy. Go to SkyHub. So you open the. Okay, then you can download it. You can download or save whatever. You can download the article and you can keep it in a folder. So then you collect the articles, all are relevant articles. So the roles of biomolecules in corrosion and inhibition of corrosion. A possible state. For example, this one looks interesting. So you can also open this one because it seems the best on the title. I think that this is a review article. What is a review article? What is a review article? Anybody? What is a review article? A review article. Anybody? What do you mean by review article?
The reader's opinion, what they write is called review.
What? Can you repeat again?
The reader's review, sir. Opinion, reader's opinion.
Yes, reader's opinion. Only reader's opinion. That is not a review article. Review article is nothing but a large summary of different research articles. A summary of various research articles. For example, various articles for a particular topic. So, for example, biomolecules as metal corrosion inhibitors. So take this as a topic. So then we have to search different papers, research articles. We have to search and we have to download it. Then you start reading it. You read and understand the papers, and you start writing a summary out of those papers. That is called a review. So here the project is nothing but a kind of review. So you have to write kind of a project report, project summary is equal to a kind of review paper here because the project is online. So online you cannot go to the lab and you cannot do it, right? So you can, everything what you can do sitting at home, open your computer or whatever laptop. So search the topic. So biomolecules as metal corrosion inhibitors. So for example, Google Scholar. Okay. So open the article.
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
All well. So open the articles and collect them. So save at one place, maybe 10 articles, 20 articles. So it depends upon your capacity. Okay, but we have to choose the best articles. Best means which suits, which exactly suits your title of the project. So biomolecules as metal corrosion inhibitors. That means biomolecules are used to inhibit the corrosion of metals. So try to collect the information. So this is research. Okay, this is research articles. You can also search search in Google. In Google, what you get? So you get research articles, and also you get some different industrial aspects also. Okay, so you can also, I mean, you can just search giving different keywords, then you get some information. So about some industries, how what they are doing. So relevant to this title of the project. So some industries might be developing some biomolecules, and they are coating biomolecules on different metals in different ways. For example, spraying techniques. For example, you can brushing techniques on some industrial scale, whatever the spray, electro spraying or normal spraying or vacuum spraying. So like that. So you'll get, I mean, a lot of information. Okay, so only thing is you have to spend time. So see, so organic corrosion inhibitors, for example, so corrosion inhibition of mild steel by the glucose. So this is from Nature article. So as well as if you open the reviews also, in the reviews interaction. So when you open the article, so in the introduction also, some parts they have it described about the industrial scale. So I mean, based on that, so if it is interesting, then open the cross references. So these are called cross references. So these are the references which are cited in this article. So in this article, they have authors have cited references. So you can open this if you find interesting. So development of accelerated evolution method for influence corrosion resistance of stainless. So this is the divine number. So you can open in Google Scholar, or you can open in SkyHub. So copy the divine number and you open the PDF file. So even the review articles, even the section part, some authors they also have mentioned the industrial application of that particular method of that particular biomolecules.
Sir, your voice is not clear.
So you should cross check it. You should cross check the. So this is the project is nothing but we have to do research on your own. If you have any questions, you can always ask. So this is your you have to develop the skills, self-motivated skills. Okay, self-learning. Okay, so that is the I mean that is the main concept behind behind keeping the course projects for you. So since you are in the first year, so this is a good start for you to start something like doing course project. So even so you have just completed 10+2. So now you are talking about course projects, research papers, and research patents. Even for us, nobody for us to tell about all this. So I came across research papers after my master's degree. So as a part of my master's degree in the second year, I went to National Chemical Laboratory, Pune. So when I went to Pune, then I got the chance to learn about new things about experimental. I mean, working in the lab and even checking the research papers. So you can downloading research papers and reading the research. Okay, so it's very lucky comparatively. Okay, so this is any doubts? Any questions?
No, sir.
No. So then we have to try to download this paper. I mean, about the course project description. So select one project out of 2. So everyone, it is individual project. There is no group. So you have to select the project on your own, and you have to start working on it. Okay, so start working on it. So try to get the information based on the project. So try to get the information according to the research scale as well as the industrial point of view. So what industries are doing in this particular topic? So metal corrosion inhibitors by using biomolecules. Okay, so you can make 50% out of in research papers or 50% out of some industrial. So what industrial people are doing it in this area of the project. So like that. So in the same way, the chromatography as a separation technique. So this chromatography techniques also used for separating proteins, separating chemicals, and so many. There are so many applications. Even separation of polymers and determination of molecular weight of polymers. Okay, there are so many applications. So we have to select the first step of the course project is you have to select the project, whatever you like out of 2 projects. Then start working on it. Okay, so try to get the information, gather the information, the first and the second step, and then you start reading it. You read and you make a summary. You make a short summary. Okay, so this is your project. So what? Any questions? In the same way, there are also course projects of environmental studies, because I'm not teaching you environmental studies, so I don't need to, but still I can just brief it in 2 minutes. So in course projects of environmental studies, there are 3 projects. So the first one is a case study of KITS sewage treatment plant. So in our KITS campus, there is a sewage treatment plant. So have you been to KITS? Yes, we have been to KITS. So there was administrative building. So wherever in the building where you went for admission process, so just backside of that building, there is a sewage treatment plant. So when you go to the KITS campus, so try to gather information about the sewage treatment plant and make a report. And you can also give some suggestions. You can give your own opinions. You can give your suggestions. You can in the report. Okay. Try to gather the information about the sewage treatment plant. Okay. This is your project. So the second project is the impact of sand and gravel dredging on the environment. So on this project, so you have to gather the information about the sand and gravel dredging. So how much sand we are digging? I mean, we are taking out of the rivers. So this information will get it online, maybe some government websites, or you can just Google it. You will get the information. So go to the websites and get the information. How much sand we are consuming every year. So what is the impact of the environment due to this sand gravel? So that is your second. The third project is solid waste management of Greater Warangal Municipality Corporation. So you can go to the Warangal Municipality Corporation website, official website, and get the information about solid waste management. Get the data. So how much waste they are collecting it every year. Okay, what they are doing it. I mean, they are using it or they are just dumping it somewhere. So we don't know it. So just get the information from the website, and you can also try to look for utilizing the solid waste. So for example, there are some companies in Turkey, in Sweden. So they are producing energy out of the waste, out of the solid waste. So they are collecting all the solid waste and they are separating the waste and they are burning So after burning, so you get the ash. So taking this ash and out of this ash, they are generating the electrical energy. So like that. So you can suggest something useful thing in the report. So you make your own strategic planning. So to use this solid waste and to for many useful things. For example, generating electricity, or you can also, if you have something in mind, you can also plan for that. So suggest to use the solid waste. Okay, so this is all about the course projects. So the next is our class. Where are we? Any questions? Any questions? So where we were the secondary cells. So secondary cells, we were talking about the lithium cells. So lithium cells with solid cathode, lithium cells with liquid cathodes. So now there's lead acid cells. So why do you call lead acid cells? Because so you are using lead as an electrode, and acid is acid as a electrolyte. So acid is H2SO4, sulfuric acid. So diluted sulfuric acid, I'm using it as a electrolyte. So that's why it is called a lead acid electrolyte. So this lead storage battery is also common battery. So which produces nearly 12 volts lead storage battery. So 12 volts means, so we have to connect 6 cells in a series. So because each cell of lead acid cell is generating 2 volts energy. Okay, so that's why if you want to if you need 12 volts, so you have to connect 6 cells in a series. So this is the lead acid cell. So here the anode is lead, the cathode is so lead oxide. The electrolyte is diluted sulfuric acid. The output of the cell is a single cell. Okay, the output of the single cell is 2 volts. So here, so lead as well as lead dioxide. So both are connected in a series. So this is the positive and this is the negative electrodes. So this is the typical image for the lead acid battery. So sulfuric acid is 20% nearly, 20 to 25% sulfuric acid used as a electrolyte. So what are the reactions? Are the anode and cathodic reactions? So these are the anode reactions. These are the reactions occurs during discharging of the energy. That means during usage of, I mean, for example, the battery is put in our mobile phone. So that when you are using, so there is a discharge of the electrons, because if there is a discharge of energy, then you can use it. In the recharge means, so you are, so it takes outer energy during recharging. Okay, in the during discharging, it takes inside energy. So these are the redox reactions occurs in the battery during discharging. So at anode, so lead oxidizes to and it forms lead sulfate as a solid. And at cathode, so there are lead dioxide reduces to lead and forms lead sulfate. So the lead ions, at anode lead ions reacts with sulfate ions from sulfuric acid. This is a lead sulfate. And at cathode also similar reaction with the lead and the sulfate. So it forms the lead sulfate. But only the reactions are different here. So this is a lead oxidation. This is a lead dioxide reduction. So the overall reaction is this one. So lead is a solid. So lead dioxide and H2SO4 is the aqueous electrolyte. So where the product is lead sulfate and water as a byproduct, plus you generate the energy through this net reaction during discharging of the battery and during recharging. When you recharge the batteries, so these are the reactions. See, when it is discharging, there was lead sulfate solid. So during recharging, the reactions are reverse. So lead sulfate forms lead plus sulfate ions, and also it reacts with the water. It forms lead dioxide and sulfuric acid. So sulfuric acid is the electrolyte. The electrolyte is regenerated during recharge. During recharging of the battery, the electrolyte is regenerated. So this is the net reaction at the recharging of the battery. So during this process, the lead is deposited at the cathode. So here the lead is deposited at the cathode and lead dioxide is deposited at anode and H2SO4 is regenerated. If you cannot regenerate the sulfuric acid electrolyte, then your battery will be dead. So if there is no electrolyte, so there is no power, there is no output of the battery. Okay, so regeneration of electrolyte is very important. So what are the advantages of lead acid batteries? So these are very useful in railways, mines, laboratories, hospitals, even automobiles. Even have you seen e-vehicles, e-scooters? So e-scooters, there are two batteries are used. So one is lead acid batteries, another one is lithium based batteries. Okay, so based on the batteries, so there is the price variation in the e-scooters, because in Warangal, I think there are one or two electric vehicles. So I went there. I was inquiring about the e-scooters. So they are using lead acid batteries. Lead acid, one type, and another type is lithium based batteries. So lead acid batteries are a bit expensive than lithium based batteries. So they were, you can use in gas engine ignitions, so UPS, and so many applications. So it's and disadvantage is the H2SO4. The concentrated sulfuric acid is dangerous, and the lead acid battery is very fragile. That means it's a kind of very delicate. So that is the disadvantage. And another disadvantage is lead. Lead is not environmentally friendly metal. Lead, mercury, for example. So those are not environmental friendly. So that's why. So that's why the use of batteries is shifting to lithium-based batteries, which is not dangerous to the environment. So next, nickel cadmium batteries. So nickel cadmium batteries, actually we were using these batteries. So more than 15 years or 20 years ago. So nickel cadmium batteries. So now it disappeared. Why? Because so nickel is good. We don't have any negative points about the nickel, but cadmium. So do you buy jewelry, gold jewelry? Anybody? Do you buy gold jewelry? Do you know KDM 916 jewelry? Do you know KDM 916 jewelry? No, you don't buy the jewelry. You don't have any gold jewelry or nobody? Okay. So the KDM 916 jewelry. So what do you mean by KDM? KDM is nothing but basically nobody knows what is KDM. I know it because I mean, whoever are selling KDM 916 jewelry, so nobody knows what is KDM. So KDM is nothing but cadmium. Okay, so you should not use cadmium in the gold jewelry. So don't buy KDM 916 jewelry. So it's carcinogenic metal. It's not good for health. But as a solid, it's still okay. But it when it melts, so it generates a lot of fumes. Okay, it's not it's a very environmentally dangerous metal, cadmium. So that's why we don't see anymore the NICD batteries. Even you can Google it, NICD batteries. So it's not eco-friendly metal, cadmium. So so that's why most of the countries have banned NICD batteries. So that's why you don't see it anymore. So now that era is lithium-based batteries. So this is the typical NICD battery. So the electrodes are connected. I mean, there is a separator here. So between the electrodes. So the positive electrode and negative electrode, those all are like rolled up, in the file form. So rolled up, and potassium hydroxide is used as the electrolyte. And cadmium is the nickel dioxide is the cathode. So the output of the battery is 1.4 volts. So these are the redox reactions at cathode and anode. So at the anode, cadmium oxidizes, at cathode nickel dioxide, so reduced to nickel hydroxide. So this is the complete net reaction. So after this reaction, so the byproduct is cadmium, cadmium hydroxide and the nickel hydroxide, plus you generate energy. So what are the applications, the uses of nickel CD batteries? So nickel CD batteries are very small size and high rate of charge and discharge capacity, so which makes it very useful for many applications. It has very low internal resistance because of there is always a separator in between of the electrodes. So there is an internal low resistance, and you can use a wide range of temperature, even up to 70 degrees. Okay, so it put the output of the battery is 1.4 volts, and it has a longer life than lead storage battery. You can use in electronic calculators and some electrical shavers and transistors, and also some medical instrumentation. Also, you can even in toys on emergency. And mostly, since it's a very small size, so it could be used in aircraft and space satellite power systems because they last longer, and they have many. You can use for many cycles for charge and discharge. And these batteries have higher energy efficiency. So then comes to the last topic of our unit, electrochemistry, is the fuel cells. So what is fuel cell? Fuel cell what is the difference between fuel cell and battery? So battery is store energy storage, but fuel cell is not a energy storage. So it will only generate the electricity through electrochemical reactions. Okay, and the difference between battery and fuel cell is in battery, so the fuels are already inside, but if in fuel cells, the fuels are outside of the system. So externally you supply the fuels. So the basic principle of a fuel cell is it operates like a galvanic cell. The only difference is that the fuel and the oxidant are stored outside the cell, and the fuel and oxidant are supplied and separately to the electrodes, so at which they undergo redox reactions. So it can supply, I mean, fuel cells are capable of supplying current as long as you supply the reactants. If you stop supplying reactants, so you can't supply any energy. You won't generate any energy. So this is the typically the fuel plus oxidant, they both react, and it gives some oxidation products plus electricity. So the best examples of fuel cells are hydrogen fuel cells and methanol fuel cells. So hydrogen fuel cells means the hydrogen is the main fuel. Methanol fuel cells means the methanol is the main fuel, and oxygen is common. So oxygen is the supplied at the cathode side. Okay. So what is the best example for hydrogen fuel cell? So what is the in nature there is one system. So it is use hydrogen as fuel and generating energy. Anybody? So for example, sun. The sun is the sun using hydrogen as a fuel and generating energy. Okay. So hydrogen fuel cell. So this is the typical structure of the fuel cell, the hydrogen fuel cell. So this is a anode, this is cathode. So hydrogen gas is supplied at the anode electrode, and oxygen is supplied at the cathode electrode. And this on this electrode there is a catalyst, either platinum. Mostly for hydrogen fuel cells, mostly the catalyst is platinum. Platinum metal is the catalyst, and there is a electrolyte. It's typically is a KOH, potassium hydroxide is the electrolyte, and these two electrodes are connected through an electric circuit. Okay, the water is the byproduct of this fuel cell device. So these are the redox reactions at the anode. The hydrogen oxidizes in the presence of platinum catalyst, and it forms the water, and it generates electrons. It generates electrons, and the electrons are traveling through the electric circuit. And at cathode, the oxygen reduced to OH minus. Okay, it's a OH minus are present in the aqueous solution. It generates the aqueous solution. Okay, the net reaction is hydrogen and oxygen. So they reacts and forms as in the process of forming the byproduct water, it generates electrons. It generates the electricity. So maximum output. So this is single cell. So one anode, one cathode. This is a one cell. It's a one cell. Okay, single cell. So with this single cell, you can produce 1.23 volts. See, remember, so you can produce energy, but you cannot store energy. That is the difference between fuel cells and batteries. Okay. So the advantages, the energy conversion in the fuel cell is very high, and there is no emission. There are no byproducts. The water is the only byproduct. So water is environmental friendly. So even it's very minute byproduct water, and the water you can use it in the reactions also in the same fuel cell reaction, because the if there is no water, even the water, so again the reacts with the oxygen here, reacts with oxygen, and the oxygen reduces, and the fuel cells have reliability in electricity generation, and the byproducts are environmentally acceptable, so there is no harm to the environment, and maintenance cost is also low for these vehicles, for these fuels, and you can save fossil fuels. It's very important because you can save fossil fuels. Okay, fossil fuels is nothing but so nuclear power or petroleum based power. So you can use fuel cell vehicles. So even in Australia, even some lot of airports, so they have fuel cell vehicles. Okay, the applications of fuel cells. So you can use since those are very portable and mobile, so you can use in space, submarine, and military systems. And the fuel cell technology so will definitely bring a revolution, because there is a lot of research still. It's ongoing in the Western countries. So in order to increase the power conversion efficiency of fuel cells. And fuel cell batteries for automotive so will be used. Even there are also some Japanese, even a German company, Mercedes-Benz. So in '94 they have launched Nectar 1 fuel cell vehicles, and even in '96 Nectar 2 fuel cell vehicles. Then 90, I think '99 Nectar 3 vehicles. No, 97 Nectar 3, 99 Nectar 4, or now in 2000 they have launched Nectar 5. So that means Nectar is the brand. I mean the name of the fuel cell vehicle they have given the Mercedes-Benz. So now a lot of research is going on even in Toyota, a Japanese company, to produce fuel cell vehicles. So the disadvantage is it's a very expensive system. Okay, so it cannot store electricity. That means so you have to use another external batteries, for example. So or we have to use the fuel tankers. So hydrogen fuel. Hydrogen is the main fuel for fuel cell, for this fuel cell. So you have to use the tanker, hydrogen tank. So it's very dangerous because its hydrogen is highly flammable, and the electrodes are expensive. Okay, the electrodes are expensive. Even the catalyst, the platinum, is mainly used in hydrogen fuel cells. That is also very expensive. So another important thing is that so for the electrodes should be porous. These electrodes should be porous materials. Porous in the sense the electrodes, these electrodes should contain the pores. Pores means like a kind of holes. It's a micron size pores, because if if it is not a porous electrode, then whatever the fluents, hydrogen or oxygen, how can how they can pass through. So in order to passing through the fuels, hydrogen and oxygen, so these electrodes should be porous materials. Okay, if there is no porous, you cannot the fuels cannot pass through into the system. Then the second example is methanol fuel cells. It's also called alkaline fuel cell. So alkaline fuel cell is nothing but it's more or less hydrogen fuel cell, but the instead of hydrogen, so we use so methanol as the main fluent here. So here you supply methanol. There is a byproduct of carbon dioxide here. So carbon dioxide is there is outlet. So here you pass through the oxygen. So water and heat so will come out in this part. So again the reactions, the anode and cathode. So there are redox reactions at anode methanol oxidizes to oxidizes and forms CO2 and water. And it gives electrons. So electrons pass through this electrical circuit. At cathode, so oxygen reduced to OH minus. So the water and carbon dioxide, they both are the byproducts in methanol fuel cells. The advantages. The methanol fuel cells, mostly fuel cells are easy to transport. So they are reasonably stable at all environmental conditions. It do not require complex steam reforming operations. So that means the maintenance of the methanol fuel cells might be low. So that's why you can target many portable applications. And there is a zero emission by the cells, hence the fuel cells are eco-friendly. The major application of methanol fuel cells is a fuel for fuel cell motor vehicles like Neckar 5 in Japan and US, even in Germany. So this is the Neckar Mercedes-Benz designed these vehicles. So since about 94. So and they have upgrading the vehicles. So with the with modern fuel cell technology. So this is the fuel cell. So this is all about fuel cells. Any questions? Any questions? Guys. Roll number 71. Roll number 71. 71. 72. 72. 87. 72. 80. Roll number 87. Roll number 89. 87 and 89 are absent. Okay, any questions? Any doubts? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Good, sir.
Sir.
Uh-huh. So this is, I think, the end of unit 1, electrochemistry. So we have covered almost all the topics of electrochemistry: electrochemical reactions, galvanic cell, voltaic cell, electrocatalytic cell, batteries, fuel cells. Okay. So if you have anything, so you can contact me. Okay. So now only 87 and 89. These two are absent. So okay then. So if you want to discuss anything, you can discuss now. You have few minutes. So otherwise, I will close the class. Okay. So then, So thank you, and enjoy the rest of the day. Okay. Bye all.
Yes, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye,
Bye
sir.
bye.
Bye,
Bye
Thank you,
bye.
sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye bye. Bye.